I promised in the beginning that I'd always give you the straight scoop, straight from the shoulder, the good and the bad. Well, here's the truth. The good news is we're on track to beat our goal of 200 million shots in the first 100 days. More than 75% of the people over the age of 65 have gotten shots, up from 8% when we took office. That's a dramatic turnaround and critical because seniors account for 80% of all COVID deaths. To help support my goal of safely reopening the majority of K through 8 schools by my 100th day in office, I directed states in early March to make educators and child care workers eligible for vaccines and to get a goal of getting all who wanted the vaccination to be able to have one and to do it in the month of March. I'm pleased to report, according to CDC estimates, over 80% of teachers, school staff, and child care workers received at least one shot by the end of March. And that's great progress protecting our educators, our essential workers. And because our vaccine program is in overdrive, we're making it easier to get a vaccination shot. Last week, I announced that by April 19th of this month, 90% of all Americans will be within 5 miles of a vaccination site. And further good news is that we're getting more and more data on just how effective the vaccines are. Dr. Fauci recently cited 2 studies from the New England Journal of Medicine that found fully vaccinated care workers, healthcare workers, on the front lines had extremely low infection rates, less than 0.2%, compared to unvaccinated healthcare workers who had considerably higher infection rates. So we're making incredible progress. There's a lot of good news, but there's also some bad news. New variants of the virus are spreading and they're moving quickly. Cases are going back up. Hospitalizations are no longer declining. While deaths are still down, way down from January, they're going up in some places. So you might ask, everybody's asking, what does that mean? I understand that people may find it confusing, that the vaccination program is saving tens of thousands of lives, but the pandemic remains dangerous. Let me explain it in a single word: time. Time. Even moving at the record speed we're moving at, we're not even halfway through vaccinating over 300 million Americans. This is going to take time. Remember, for a 2-dose vaccine, it takes weeks from the time you get your first one until you're able to get your second shot, which makes you fully protected. If you get your first shot next week in mid-April, you won't be fully protected until May, late May. If you get your first shot in mid-May, you aren't fully protected until late June. So look, now, on the one hand, June isn't that far away given how long this has been going on, but it isn't here yet either. So the virus is spreading because we have too many people who, seeing the end in sight, think we're at the finish line already. But let me be deadly earnest with you. We aren't at the finish line. We still have a lot of work to do. We're still in a life and death race against this virus. Until we get more people vaccinated, we need everyone to wash their hands, socially distance, and mask up in a recommended mask from the CDC. Think about it this way. Better times are ahead. And as I said before, we can have a safe, happy 4th of July with your family and your friends in small groups in your backyard. The real question is, how much death, disease, and misery are we going to see between now and then? In January, just the month of January, we lost 95,774 Americans. In March, that was 37,172 Americans. All told, I keep doing this, I know, but I carry this card every day with my schedule on it. And the back, I have a COVID update. The total number of deaths in the United States to date is 554,064 dead. That's lives that have been lost. What we do now is going to determine how many people we'll save or lose in the month of April and May and June before we get to July 4th. So please, until we're further along in this accelerating, successful, but still growing vaccination effort, please wash your hands, practice social distancing, wear a mask as recommended by the CDC, get vaccinated when it's your turn.
Hey guys, did you know we have a podcast called WJ Live?
The Western Journal's mission is to equip readers with the truth, and that's the same mission we have on WJ Live.
You'll hear from writers, editors, and special guests on the most important topics of the day.
You can catch us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific, right here at youtube.com/WJ Live.
While you're there, help us out by subscribing and hitting the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. See you there.